Welcome to the CEO's blog for this week. What a marvellous week of racing it has been. A couple of disappointments, I suppose, with the rain, particularly at Newcastle, where we had to call those races off, and also the fog at Wagga. But we move on, and we're right into the Breeders' Challenge series. Alabar, our very strong supporter of the challenge, is supporting us all the way through this, and we're seeing some great results. Many trainers and owners are interested in where their horses sit once the heats are fully run, and now that we've fully run the 2-year-old heats, you can go onto the website and see a table of where the horses need to be to make the semi-finals. Of course, there's only 2 semi-finals of each of the divisions, and what we have in respect of that is that we see with the 2-year-olds now, both with the colts and geldings and the fillies, basically first, second and third will get into the finals, but they must be nominated. So to trainers out there, please nominate your horses for those semi-finals to ensure that you are in the races. And what a great race it was in the Alabar 3-year-old colts and geldings Breeders' Challenge heat at Penrith last week, when Ignatius came up against Pickard and they raced to the line. Ignatius did get away, but the time he ran was something phenomenal. Ignatius set a new track record for Penrith at 153.6. When he gets to the semi-finals, and of course we expect him to get through to the final, there'll be one hell of a race at Menangle. Easily on a conversion, a 150-mile rate is certainly on the cards for Ignatius, or whoever might try to challenge him for the favouritism in this race. And that would eclipse the record of 150.2 set by Vincent, that wonderful horse that was bred here in New South Wales. So keep your eyes out for Ignatius. Some great racing coming up, and what a glorious effort it was at Penrith last week. And talking about fast times and talking about Tabcorp Park Menangle, the scintillating first quarter of 24.6 by Myfield Marshall and Major Dan, because it takes 2 to tango, was something to behold. As far as we're concerned, that looks like a world record for the fastest opening quarter in any race. So the track is certainly on fire, and those horses are something special. Just goes to prove that our horses, when they compete in America, are competitive, and they are competitive here. It was pleasing to see Ray Turner win 2 races last night at Wagga, with Park Run and Watch Me Rock winning consecutive races. What was really pleasing for the punters, and I'm sure Helen had her couple of dollars on these 2 horses for little Archie, $21.70 for Park Run and $20.30 for Watch Me Rock. So it'd be happy times in the Turner household. Whilst talking about success on the race course, fantastic also to see Ricky Alchin train and drive his first Group 1 winner in the Garrard's yearling sales pace at Redcliffe last Friday night. Regulus, that's owned by Alf and Rosario Laspina, was just far too good, and as I said, Ricky does a marvellous job. He does a lot of breaking of horses, early education, but to get that Group 1, it just shows that he, like the rest of his family, which goes back generations, are competent horsemen, more than competent horsemen. They're very good horsemen, so well done, Ricky. Harness Racing New South Wales is very pleased to announce those drivers selected to contest the Nick Dewar Rising Championship for this year. As we know, young Nick lost his life, and as a tribute, and we thank the family for allowing us, this year's Rising Stars will be named after Nick. Those drivers who are competing in it will be competing in a very special event this year, as we remember Nick, but as always, the racing will be competitive, and I encourage all owners and trainers to nominate horses for the heats. Of course, they're penalty free, and there's nothing better than winning one for free. But anyway, please nominate for these races and support these young drivers who are our stars of the future. And talking about stars, we're actually losing a star. The star in Lenny the Shark. What a champion horse. Winner of over $3 million in prize money, a 149.2 mile rate, will be going to stud. He won all the top races. He won the Miracle Mile, the #1 race. For sprinters, he won the Inter-Dominion, the #1 race for endurance horses. So he's going to be a very valuable stallion, and hopefully we will see him standing here in New South Wales, where we offer so many bonuses, incentives 4 stallions to stand here. So to you, Kevin Risley, and your team, when you're thinking about standing Lenny the Shark at stud, think New South Wales. Tomorrow is a very important day for the progress of the Wagga track development. Harness Racing New South Wales and our consultants will appear before the Southern Joint Regional Planning Panel to discuss where we are with this development. We have put in an application to extend the public building by a mere 9 metres, but of course that has to go back before the planners each time. So we'll have a resolution on that tomorrow. But as far as the rest of the track's concerned, everything is on target for that December opening. Hopefully it goes well tomorrow and we can stay on target. But on another matter of track developments, pleasing or to note that the tenders for the stable roof and the officials pod at Tamworth closed last week. We'll make a decision, Harness Racing New South Wales, on who the successful tender will be next week when we're in Tamworth, and from there of course building will commence. It is expected that those works will be completed before the end of the year and well in time for the famous Golden Guitar Carnival, which is Tamworth's iconic race and flagship event. And to close this week, everybody should be attending Peak Hill's Carnival Cups meeting. It's the last of the TAB Carnival Cups meetings for this season at Peak Hill next Sunday. A strong 9-race program has been put together. The Crichton Park Drivers Invitation Race is the feature of it. But last week's results were very interesting. It was good to see Billy Stubbs win a couple of races. Wendy Turnbull was the dominant trainer with 3, and Emma Turnbull, she's one of the drivers in the Crichton Park Invitation Race. So all roads should lead to Peak Hill, and I encourage everybody to make it out to that track where Wayne Rosser, Graham Hando and their very hard-working committee putting things together in difficult conditions of the drought. They will certainly give you great afternoons of racing. So that's it for this week's CEO's blog, but don't forget, Peak Hill is your destination this weekend.